Now, realizing sustainable increases in employee engagement requires impacting the culture of the organization. It just does, right? Because culture leads to particular behaviors and attitudes, and that culture is then reinforced by that. I'll give you a very simple example. I was recently giving a talk somewhere. It was a 2-day workshop, and I had this woman come in 45 minutes early. It was really wonderful. She introduced herself, and at 9 o'clock when we were going to start, nobody else was there. Guess what? It turned out that it was her second day of work. Do you think that she is ever going to be 45 minutes early for another meeting at this place? Isn't going to happen. Next day, she was 5 minutes late. See, because you go into an organization, it actually doesn't matter if it's where you work or where you worship, right, or your gym. You go in and you sort of, hopefully you get an idea of the culture in advance, which is part of the whole hiring process, really important, right, and the fit. But you go in and you sort of sniff out what the culture is like, right? You figure it out. So is this the kind of place where, you know, people really cooperate with one another, or where they really put walls up? Do people have lunch together? Do people stay late, right? Do they leave when the boss? So what is the culture, right? Because either you're going to fit into that culture, or you're going to leave either of your own accord or because of the leadership. So culture leads to behaviors and attitudes, and then those behaviors and attitudes then are what can change the culture. I've worked with the United States Postal Service, second largest employer, right, next to the government. Hard to change the culture. How does the culture change? It starts with the leadership team having a very clear vision and mission, right, and holding people accountable to that. So the people in this room can change the culture. And by the way, it's really, really, really important for you to know what your culture is, so you can explain it to people who come on board and hire for that, and then hold people accountable to it. I did an exercise recently with a startup organization, small group of leaders in it, and we went away on a retreat, and we said, okay, what's your culture? And they hemmed and hawed, and what they came up with was that it was friendly and relaxed. That's really nice. It's really nice, but they're going to go out of business very soon if that's what their culture is. Right? So we had to come up with a list of values, right, again, that they could promote in their organization. So what doesn't change culture is trying to motivate employees with carrots and sticks, hence the title of the book. Now what I'm going to present to you actually today, much of it's not based on my research. It's actually based on the research of lots of different wonderful academics over the last 40 years. So it's the only way I can get myself out of bed in the morning, right? The proverbial carrot, right? So either I'm going to get like a treat or I'm going to get hit with the stick. Now, if this is your experience of coming to work, it's not a very satisfying one.